8.
Help given is favor owed. Chagall pushed past a pair of people sitting at a small square table pressed up against the wall. The two were not there together by appearances. They sat facing outward instead of each other. Chagall bumped one's elbow as the fellow dug some black muck out of his ear and rubbed it off on the corner of the table, careful not to soil his nice new turquoise leather couplet. The color reflected the tavern's firelight back up on the fellow's face, giving him an underwater zombie aspect. Now Chagall wasn't the only bluish being in the room. But the fellow ignored Chagall, and the barbarian moved on. "I noticed you admiring my leathers," said Triton Costna, as he pushed a smile out of his drained face. A flake of mud fell from his brow and fluttered down to rest on his turquoise-clad leg. Looking back at Triton was a delicate and extremely clean and organized person. Her hair stuck out at angles from beneath a hood that was partially pulled up. There was a humble utility to the attire. Practical clothes with a square collar and square sleeves, straight, flat breeches, a small gauge chainmail tunic with a matte finish lay under the garments and revealed itself at the hip, where the legs rested next to each other, and a bent knee found a pair of soft leather boots hanging from feet about an inch off the floor. "You have an arrow sticking out of your neck?" replied the person. How could anyone have missed it? But if Triton turned his head to profile, the arrow was concealed, like the dark side of the moon. And, like that side of the moon, its cold stories were yet unknown. It's my shoulder muscle, actually. I study bodies, the body. Neck, shoulder, chest, clasp, arm, elbow, forearm. They all have different names. Anyway, haven't had a moment to pull it out yet. You understand it's a difficult angle. And if I remove it without the proper unguents and leech as well, I don't want the wound to turn gray on me. Triton pushed the smile up to his eyes. So, for now, I'm an arrow man, straight and true. Let me pull it out. I heal people. Thank you, miss. Sir? Just say thank you. That's enough. I'll take your thanks without paying you with my name. The healer pushed the solid man onto the table, as much with a gaze as a shove. Planting a foot on his shoulder, the healer stood on the chair and gripped the shaft with both hands. "Wait, before you... Triton stood up, rubbing his shoulder where it met his neck. He daubed the spot with a handkerchief and examined the cloth. No blood. "Oh, wow. You do know what you're doing. I'm Triton Costna, escapee of the gallows, pirate, and the man who walks back from the pit of the dead." An amulet had fallen out of the healer's shirt as she bent over the arrow. It swung back now to rest on her chest clasp, as Triton would call it, where the two halves of the chest clasped together, a faint inner glow fading. "I am Ilaria. You owe me